in the answer to question 7.2. But happy to come back to that later.
Yeah, well, that is useful, because I was going to ask what do you suggest is the way forward? You've outlined that for me, but I need to ask the council whether the council thinks any of that is necessary.
No. Mr. Ridge can explain why.
I think there's two things here. There is what transport interventions are required to deliver the spatial distribution within the local plan. And our answer to that is we've set those out and we've appraised them. They're in the infrastructure note and they're in the transport modelling. Then there is a later question about, well, what, given that growth is taking place in York, what is the council proposing to do about that? And that then brings in the council's own work on its carbon strategy and its economic development plan, and also its public health strategy, or maybe to a lesser extent for that document. Now, all authorities have to present a new local transport plan in spring 2024. We've been, like all other local transport authorities, we've been awarded funding by the Department of Transport to do that. We are beginning to work on it. The Department of Transport has been very clear that the local plan in any given authority forms a very important backdrop to those preparations. So it's inevitable that as things go forward, the local plan will inform our preparation of our next local transport plan, which will, be ready for spring 2024 and will be a statutory document. But then there's kind of a chicken and egg question, I suppose, which is what comes first, the local plan or the local transport plan? And our view is that the sustainability appraisal and the work that we have done so far meets or discharges our obligations in local plan making, and then the local plan goes forward to inform the local transport plan. I think there is a fundamental difference in our view of the approach from that of the Environment Forum and the Civic Trust, in that they believe that the local plan should be a transport planning-led process. Obviously, transport planning has been very important within the local plan, but certainly from a policy perspective, we don't see the local plan as being a device for delivering transport in York, if that makes sense.
Thank you. We're at 10 to 11. I'm wondering whether there are any other points we need to make to cap this particular aspect off. Mr. Merritt, go on then.
Yes, two points. I think I'd argue it's the council that's not taking the appropriate approach rather than ourselves on this side of the table, in that if they'd have done the transport assessment, it is the transport assessment within the local plan that would inform LTP4. But I think I've covered that reasonably earlier. But I'm slightly surprised at the council's comment in regard to your previous question about whether they think they've done all that's necessary. Because if you go back to CYC 87, as you recall, the council said that the draft York Local Transport Strategy, which will be presented to phase 4 of the examination, will provide further detail of policies which will be used to achieve effective mode share in the existing built-up area of York. This will be additional mitigation to that assumed in the modelling presented here, and is intended to deal with general transport issues and ones that lie outside the local plan, although they will assist in managing the trip growth from the development proposed by the local plan. So, in effect, the council's reneging on its previous commitment to this inquiry in that document. Now saying that no additional mitigation is proposed.
So can I say, we're not reneging on anything. We have put it, the transport strategy will be out for full public consultation in the next couple of months. And we have put in, as you will know, sir, to the inquiry, sorry, I'll get you the date, as at, sorry, I'm trying to do this on my iPad, so I'm not saying as much as at once as I should. Yes, we put in on the 1st of September CYC 108, which is the presentation on the transport strategy, which gives you an idea of what it's going to contain. Mr. Ridge, have you anything to add?
No, I think you've covered it all.
In which case, I think I'm going to suggest we have our morning break. We'll come back and we'll move the conversation on. I'm going to resume. I've got 10:52. We'll resume at 11:10, if that's okay. Until then, thank you.